Hello everybody, welcome back to the Texas Podcast. I am your host Gabe, and today we will be talking about the Thorton Affair. The Thorton Affair, also known as the Thorton Skirmish, Thornton's Defeat, or Rancho Carcitos, was a battle in 1846 between the military forces of the United States and Mexico 20 miles west upriver from Zachary Taylor's camp along the Rio Grande. The much larger Mexican force defeated the Americans in the opening of hostilities and was the primary justification for U.S. President James K. Polk's call to Congress to declare war. Although the United States had annexed Texas, both the U.S. and Mexico claimed the area between the Nueces River and the Rio Grande. Polk had ordered Taylor's Army of Occupation to the Rio Grande early in 1846, soon after Mexican President Mariano Padres declared in his inaugural address that he would uphold the integrity of Mexican territory to the Sabine River. Mariano Arista assumed command of the Division of the North on April 4th and arrived at Matamoros on April 24th. Making a total force there about 5,000 men, and notified Taylor's hostilities had commenced. Arista promptly ordered General Anastasio Torrejon to cross the Rio Grande 14 miles upstream at La Palaganda. Taylor received two reports on April 24th of Mexicans crossing the Rio Grande, the first crossing below his camp, the other a crossing upriver. Taylor ordered Captain Croghan Kerr to investigate downriver and Captain Seth B. Thornton with two dragoon companies to investigate upriver. Kerr found nothing, but Thornton rode into an ambush, and his 80-man force was quickly overwhelmed by Torrejon's 1,600, resulting in the capture of those not immediately killed. Thornton's guide brought news of the hostilities to Taylor and was followed by a cart from Torrejon containing the 6 wounded. Torrejon stated he could not care for them. In a fierce encounter, 14 of Thornton's men were killed, 6 was wounded, and 1 was fatally wounded, while the rest were taken prisoner, including Captain Thornton and his second-in-command, William J. Hardy. Mexican casualties are unknown. Torrejon continued on to the Matamoros Point Isabel Road, surprising Samuel H. Walker's Texas Rangers on April 28th before continuing on to Longoreno to cover the crossing at the main Mexican army. Following the Battle of Palo Alto and the Battle of Resaca de la Palma, Arista and Taylor agreed to a prisoner exchange, which resulted in the release of Thornton, Hardy, and their men. Thornton was killed on August 20, 1847, in the Battle of Churubusco outside Mexico City. With eerie symmetry, this soldier who was wounded at the war's opening act was killed in the last conflict of the war. Upon learning of the incident, President James K. Polk asked for a declaration of war before a joint session of the United States Congress and summed up his justification for war by famously stating, and I quote, "The cup of forbearance has been exhausted, even before the recent information from the frontier of the Rio Grande. But now, after reiterated menaces, Mexico has passed the boundary of the United States, has invaded our territory and shed American blood upon the American soil. She has proclaimed that hostilities have commenced and that the two nations are now at war." End quote. On May 13, 1846, the U.S. Congress declared war on Mexico. Despite the Mexican government's position that Thornton had crossed the border into Mexican Texas, which Mexico maintained began south of the Nueces River, opposition also existed in the United States, with one senator declaring that the affair had been as much an act of aggression on our part as if a man pointing a pistol at another's breast. Congressman Abraham Lincoln demanded to know the particular spot of soil on which the blood of our citizens was so shed. The ensuing Mexican-American War was waged from 1846 to 1848 with the loss of many thousands of lives and a loss to Mexico of all its northern provinces. The Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo ended the war on February 2, 1848, and established the Rio Grande as the border between the U.S. and Mexico, and led to Mexico recognizing Texas as part of the United States. I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one.